So this is a first order TIE fighter, and this was $10 at Bargain Hunt. So anyway, a couple years ago, my wife bought me this TIE fighter pilot. So I always thought it's cool, but you know, this figure needs something to do. He doesn't really run around and chase people with a gun. So now I have, at a very reasonable price, I have the TIE fighter. And what actually persuaded me to get this was I found out it was a two-seater. So this could be displayed with either the two pilots in it, or you could put Finn and Poe in it, like the scene from the movie. But either way, the box is very nice, and it shows you some other things you can get. It shows you a nice picture of it. I understand, and I'm expecting that these wings will be bowed a little bit, but that's okay. It shows you the figure. It shows you some of the things they can do. But what really persuaded me, like I said, is that this was a two-seater, and that made all the difference. So I'm gonna go ahead and very gently open this up. I apologize for that noise. And this is the entire contents right here, including a figure that is like this one, except his helmet comes off, and I don't think this one's helmet comes off. So first, there is a little instruction pamphlet that shows you the features. And if you're wondering what that noise is, that would be my cat rubbing his face on that outer carton. Okay. And actually, this one is not bowed. Maybe a little bit. But it looks pretty good. And here's the other wing. There's a small bag of accessories. So there is a small little turret. There is a little antenna, two little missiles, and this is the canopy cover, I believe. Now we have the canopy, and it has a nice, lovely tinted glass in the front and on the back. And something that surprises me about this is the weight. This feels heavy. This doesn't feel cheap. It actually feels quite heavy, and it's nice. On the inside, As you can see, there are two seats, one facing forward and one in reverse. This is the canopy, and on the inside of the canopy there are two slots to stow the blasters from the figures, because it doesn't make sense that they would be holding them inside the ship. The fits pretty good. It would come off quite easily. And that snaps on. So that's the little cannon that Finn was using. And that's another reason I like this, is because it reminds me of the scene in The Force Awakens when Finn and Poe steal the TIE fighter. There we go. And it folds down. Okay. Just want to make sure I put these on the right way. Or does it even matter? And there we have it. It's put together. And I believe there is a button or a means where these wings can pop off. Yes, there is. Okay. So here, there are two buttons located here and here. And if you press it, it ejects the wings, which is kind of a throwback to the original TIE fighter that came out in the 70s. That was the really desired toy, and that was one that so many people associate with Star Wars, is that the TIE Fighter with the ejecting wings. There's little missiles, and they also have a button that shoots them, and that button is right here. So, and they shoot out one at a time. So that is, well, I mean, I really like it. I really like this. I really enjoyed the beginning of The Force Awakens when they stole the TIE Fighter, and all my life I've never actually owned any TIE Fighter. I've never had one. So I finally have a TIE Fighter, which is really cool. So let's look at this first figure. And he has a very generic sort of face. As we know, they're not clones anymore, though, so he's just an anybody. He's an everyman. He has a helmet that fits good, that has his sort of gas mask in the front, or not gas mask, but oxygen apparatus. And we can take his blaster, which is right here. Just show you the detail real quick. If this will ever focus. I don't think I have a very good focuser, but the blaster should be stowed right here. It should be. It doesn't really fit very snug there. There we go. Oh. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's see how he looks on the inside of it. He can sit down and let's move his arms up like he's actually working controls and stuff. And he sure can fit in there. Okay, now let's look at the other one. Just to show you the packaging. It's the First Order TIE Fighter pilot. This guy's not quite as detailed as the one that's inside, but he's still very nice. Here's the back. I'm not going to worry about the little accessory he comes with. I'm just going to worry about the figure. Now, let's compare these two figures real quick. I'm going to put his blaster in his hand. So, these are the two TIE fighter pilots, and as you can see, one has a much smaller helmet than the other for obvious reasons. But I guess we can assume that this guy just has a smaller head. And the breathing apparatus is smaller and connected to him. But they still look enough alike where you could set them both inside of the canopy of this, or the flight deck. I'm sorry, before anyone writes that comment that tells me this is not called the canopy, this is the canopy, the inside is the flight deck or cockpit. So, okay. I used to be in the military. I do know what those things are. FYI. Okay. Now, so these are the two figures, and I think they look great together, and I think they're going to look even greater inside of this ship. So, because the guns do not fit very snugly in there, I'm just going to keep them in their hands. So, I got one. Now let's see if the other one will go in there. Or I wonder if they were thinking that this should be Finn and Poe in here. Yeah, they go in there. It looks pretty good. And the view from the inside, you could see, you can barely see because it's tinted, but yeah, they fit in there nicely. Very cool. He's got a little ball joint neck, and he's got that tube there, which is actually, he in a weird sort of way, he looks a little bit better. They both have very good tight joints. Also, I didn't point out is when you put his apparatus snaps in here, or at least it's supposed to. Yeah, so it would look possibly a little bit more similar now that it's flush with his chest. So that's good. They have the basic 5 articulation, which a lot of people don't like, although I didn't mind. In fact, as a matter of fact, I have the Mission Series action figures that came out, and I'm really proud to own a lot of those. And I also have my Rebels action figure set that I'll show you in a later video, which I really like. So, these are the figures. And they look pretty good. Let's do something here. go. It's very cool. I really like it. So it's the 2-seater first order TIE fighter that you could also use to display with your Poe and Finn figures. It's going for $10 at Bargain Town, which is a very good price for it, for what you get. A great display piece, and for $10 I definitely recommend it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and please rate, comment, and subscribe.